Hi everyone. It is great to see a lot of people who are enthusiastically tuning in for this live stream. Thanks for coming in. Today, we are going to look at a couple of things in this workshop. So, first thing, let me set the context. There are a lot of open source programs that are running out here. They are very much involved in creating a great start for students who are going to set their foot in the open source contributions. Okay, let's see what these programs are, and then what exactly that we are going to do today. What is our main work that we are going to do, and what is it that we are going to learn out of this. So the first thing is, the open source program that I am talking about are Winter of Codes and Summer of Codes. Google started this one as Google Summer of Code, and since not everyone has the privilege to get into Google Summer of Code, there is this company called GirlScript Foundation. They started GirlScript Summer of Code, and I personally, as a developer, I thought of like creating another kind of a program in Winter of Code, which I tried to do something like Cat's Winter of Code, which did not work out last year, but this year I'm going to do it. Now, looking at that, I thought, why don't I collaborate with other companies? So I collaborated with Script Winter of Code and DevScript Winter of Code. There are two different communities. They are happy to collaborate with me, and we have successfully been running this Winter of Code series for the past couple of months. Now, what is happening? All these open source programs have this concept of having a couple of projects here, and there are multiple mentors for each project, and those mentors can be mentors for one or more projects, and they can take care of the queries posted by participants who are volunteering students who have the ability to contribute to the project. So what happens here is, each project has a project administrator or a project maintainer. I'm one of the project maintainers for the project called as Internship Onboarding Platform, which you can see above. Right. So what is happening right now? The team from Script Winter of Code, they asked me for updates on the scores. Okay. So what am I supposed to do? They have given me a Google Sheets document format where I need to add each and every person's scores here. So let me have a quick show you quickly how the scorecard looks like so that you get an idea about it. So I might need to share my screen. Just give me a moment. So the scorecard looks like this. If you see this scorecard, it has a Script Winter of Code 2020 participant score sheet, DevTurnship. That is my project. It's an internship onboarding portal, and the URL of the project is given here. And there are admins, who is just me, and the mentor is a couple of people here. So if you see this, I'm supposed to give this participant name, their GitHub handle, how many beginner level of issues they have completed. So how this works is, first, as a mentor or an admin or a participant, issues are created in an open source repository. Then the open source participants will look at which issue they can solve, and then they go pick it up or claim it, and then they pick it up and they will be start work on it. So once that happens, the next step is for them to create a merge request or a pull request. Merge request in terms of GitLab and other similar platforms. And so they create a pull request on GitHub, and this particular pull request will have a couple of labels associated with it. So I'm working with Script Winter of Code in this particular context. So the label will be SWOC. Along with that label, there are a couple of difficulty labels as well. So the difficulty labels are beginner, easy, medium, and hard. And finally, you need to give the total score as well. For example, this person, Jesse 10,000, they have actually created one easy problem. So these are pull request numbers separated by comma, and the number is an easy one. So there is only one. So the total score is 4. So this person, Slot Panda, has actually created 2 merge requests that are successfully merged. The numbers are 16 and 12. So 4 plus 2, the person will get 6 points. So this is how the whole score sheet works. Now this one, it is really tough. If I try to go to my repository, go to all the pull requests here, and then try to find out who all have actually closed it and what is the merged thing. So this is going to be really a hectic job for a person like me. And moreover, I'm a lazy person. I don't want to go through each and every pull request. Who is this person? And then getting all the details. So you can get it right. Like, it's going to be really hectic. So what I thought is, why don't I try to automate this whole process of generating this thing? So what are we gonna do for this? So we will be using something called as the, there are a lot of open APIs available, and we will be using GitHub's REST API. So this REST API has a lot of features that you can use. For example, let's take one pull request as an example. So I have got these pull requests here, and let's see, this is a merged pull request. And if I open this one, I can see that the user is Jesse 10,000. The labels are these labels, and there are like multiple comments, and it has also this merge commit merged at like 6 days ago on this place, etc. So there are so many things are here. Okay. So if I go ahead and look at the public API, I will be able to get those things as well. Before that, let's get to know about the API itself. So this is the GitHub's REST API, and when you look at the APIs, this is completely free to use. It is publicly available, and when it is free to use, there are some restrictions. For example, the rate limiting. So when you see the rate limit place, you have there are some rate limit rules, and it is kind of like we are not sure what exactly is the current rate limit. I guess it is like 1 per second, I believe, 1 request per second. That is 60 requests per minute, I believe so. So if I kind of refresh the rate limit, it says that limit is 60, remaining is 59, and it gets reset here. I don't understand what is this number. So I believe it is the epoch time from the it's from the epoch time, like it is number of seconds elapsed from epoch time. So if I try to go to console and type a new date and put this number, well, that's not the exact number. I guess JavaScript uses milliseconds. So I'll add these things. So it says like February 5th, 2021 at 9:51 p.m., 9:51 a.m. it gets, gets reset, which means I have 60 or 59 requests to use before this one. So it seems like really 1 request per minute at the rate of 60 requests per hour. Okay, this is kind of interesting for me, because if we are trying to use up a lot of requests, it's gonna completely exhaust everything. So I've got 1 hour, and inside that 1 hour I have only 60 number of requests. Cool. So now if I try to look into the scorecard, for example, the scorecard requires me to use these details. So I need the participant name, the GitHub handle, number of beginner pull requests, number of easy pull requests, number of medium pull requests, number of hard pull requests, and I need to give the total score here. Got it. So this is what, as a maintainer, I need to do. So this particular workshop will be aimed for all these maintainers who are actually struggling with giving the right representation of the scores in the scorecard. Great. So let me have a quick look at the comments as well. So in case of any comments are coming up, I'm just gonna quickly go ahead and solve everything here. Let me see. Let me answer all the comments. And okay, so we are back. Okay, cool. So next thing is, yeah, hi everyone. Okay, so next thing is, how are we going to bring this thing in. Okay, so I'm a lot more interested in working things on React.js. So that's how I like solve things. So the funny thing is we will be getting a JSON response from the API, and we are going to parse the JSON response, then export it to the Google Sheets. This is the ultimate thing that we are going to do. This is the automation stuff I'm going to talk about. Okay, let's look at the concept of scoring system. So if you have a quick look at what this scorecard says is, so the beginner will get beginner issue, we need to provide 2 points. For the easy issue, we need to provide 4 points. For the medium issue, we need to provide 7 points. And for the hard issue, we need to provide 10 points. That's exactly is the scoring pattern. This is almost similar with GSSOC as well. So in case if your project is registered with GSSOC 21, which is going to happen next month, please go ahead and feel free to use the same concept or same code for it. Okay, so let's go on. The first thing which I'm going to do is I need to get the list of pull requests from my repository. For example, this is my repository. If I see the number of pull requests, there are 11 closed pull requests and 1 open pull request. So now let's have a quick look at the API for this. I'll be using the GitHub's pull request API, where I'll be using api.github.com repos / the repo username and the repo name /pulls. That is the pull request. I'm going to use the state equal to all so that I'm going to get every single pull request that I have used. So what I'm going to do is, even before using this whole pull request concept, I'm going to cache this whole thing. Okay, which means I don't want to hit the API server again and again for this. So the first thing what I'm going to do is I'll go to the network tab, press enter, so that I can show you all what are all the things are there. So there are totally 12 pull requests here. So if you had a look at my repository, there is like 1 open pull request and 11 closed pull requests. So that's exactly what I want to work here. So in the response part, I've got 0 to 11, which is 12 pull requests. So let's see the structure of the pull request. Structure of each pull request will give you a great idea for us. So let's take the first pull request, which is the pull /22. One thing which I noticed here is all the pull requests are reverse chronological in nature. So if you see the URLs for everything, it starts from 2, 4, 7, 8, 11, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22. So it's in the reverse way. So we might need to either reverse it off first, or it's up to us. So this doesn't cause any trouble. So I guess it should be all right. Okay, the first thing is we need to get this data from GitHub to our local place. I'm going to use react.new, which is, okay, let me open it in a new window and then maximize it. So react.new provides us with the awesome, like a Visual Studio Code kind of an interface. So I can work with this. So look at this. This is the Hello Code Sandbox, and Code Sandbox is going to help me with creating a lot of stuff here. Okay, so starting with what I want to do is I'll just clone this off. Okay, it has been cloned. So the first thing I'm going to do is I need to create a JSON file. Okay, shall we say as pulls.json? Okay, so we have pulls.json. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything here, everything from here, and then save it over here. Look at this. It is already like 4360, like 4,300 lines of code, which has to be parsed. Okay, so let me close this one. And now I need to import this code inside my application and see if it is working for me. So the first thing what I'm gonna do is before importing this, but let me try importing this in a different way. So I'll just go to the style.css and get rid of this text align center. And for the pre, I'll give some nice way of styling. Say, for example, I really would like to use a nice style here. Something like a border and stuff. So let me add some monospace fonts, cool border. then a background color, light background color. So I just added these things. Now coming back to here, if I try to put a pre-tag for usually used for displaying codes, I'm going to say hello viewers. So you can see that it is displaying in a nice way. So that's exactly what I wanted to do. Okay, so instead of hello code sandbox, I'm going to add as, what shall I put here? Just thinking of helper, some kind of a helper. Let's say winter of code, summer or winter of code, score sheet helper. Something funny. All right. So now the first thing is I need to get this JSON data imported. So I'm just going to put const data equal to require, and I'll use the require function to get it from the public /pulse.json. And then I need to see whether this data is really here. So I don't want to quickly show every single thing here. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'll just use a JSON.stringify. So I use a lot of times JSON.stringify. So this might give me a nice way of representing things. So I'll be using data.length for now. So I get 12, which is the number of pull requests, right? So if I just remove the length, I can see that all these pull requests are here. So I don't need to go ahead and hit the server again and again. Okay. So right now we have got all the pull requests. Now the first thing I need from this list of pull requests are, I need to see how my data is getting aggregated here. Okay, let's quickly look at the scorecard ones. All right. So if you look at the score sheet here, just give me a second. If you look at the score sheet here, I can clearly see that it is, the pivot is based on the users. So here, the pivot is based on the project's pull request data. What I need to do is I need to get all these data in the right way and save it in the like maybe a kind of like I might need to use a reduce functionality and get all the pull requests based on the user login. So if you see here, each pull request will have user.login. The same way, if I go to another pull request, has a user.login. So this is exactly what I need to do. Okay. So let's start with one of these things. So here I need to use a map function or a reduce function. I'll use a reduce function here. Okay. Now I'm going to create another constant const. Let's say PRs by user. And then I need to do data.map. I need to add a function. So I will use the data. And then let me return for now d dot. So what is it going to be? User.login, right? So this is what it's going to return. So if I refresh this page and if I use PRs by user here, cool. I've got a data that is going to be this way. But what I really need is, now if you see here, I can see that slot panda is coming twice or thrice, and there are a lot of people. It's me here. So we are getting a lot of different, like different people coming in. But what I want is I need every single PR to be inside a object. So they should be kind of like collective. So I need to do a kind of an object kind of thing. So data.map will not be a right answer for this. So I might need to use something like a reduce function. So let's use a reduce function with the first one being an accumulator. The accumulator, and this is the, let's say, PR. And what I need to do is I need to give the content of the I need to group everything by the user. For example, I need to group all these PRs by the user. So if at the end I need to return the accumulator, so I'll just return ACC so that I am getting this. So the first check I'm going to do is if this particular user is there or not already in the accumulator. So if not, ACC pr.login.user will be there. So if this particular thing is not there, I need to create an object for this particular user. So let me create an object here. But we will think about the object later. So it says cannot read property user of undefined. So which means I need to check what exactly is there in the PR. Let me try to do this way. Okay, I just need to find what exactly is happening here. Just give me a second. So this is the thing. .user.login. I'm sorry. Mistakes happen. So here I'm just going to change it to user.login and save it. So every time when I do this, I get the particular user with an object initialized. Now let's have a quick look at the scoring card as well. So we can see that each score is like, there are a lot of beginner scores, there are some easy scores, there are some medium scores, there are some hard scores. So we need these 4 things. Okay. So we will go with initializing these 4 variables here. So I'll just copy and paste from here. This is easier. So beginner, it's an array of items. See, the moment I put beginner, everything has got a beginner score. Okay. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. We have easy. Then we have medium. Then we've got hard. Okay, so now if I get all these number of scores, I'll be able to happily use a pivot kind of a thing and then get all these names here. Okay, so let's try to construct this particular stuff as well. So we need the participant name, GitHub handle, beginner, those kind of things, right? So I'm going to use a tab separated value using a pre tag, and then this is going to be helpful for me. So pre. So what exactly I need on the first attempt? So I need something like, say, username, tab, full name, tab, beginner issue numbers, like tab separated value, so that I can just copy this one. So if I just copy and if I try to do like, let me do this way as well. So if I do this way, if I just copy this part and just go here and paste it here, I'm able to get this exactly, right? So this is the username. Okay, I just need to swap this. That's fine. So I can easily get the participant name, GitHub handle, the beginner issue nums, easy issue nums, something like that. This is exactly what I want to do here. Okay, let's see how we can do this. Now, this is the username that I'm trying to do. So with this particular data, so let's create another constant here. Const final data equal to. So I need to kind of like map this all these data, like each and every row in the object. So when I say it is an object, we need to use object.keys. So let me put object.keys, of which object it's PRs by user, and I need to map these things. So it's going to be, each key is going to be the username, right? So user, and what exactly I need to return here. So, and I need to also join this by an empty line. So an empty line is /n, and then the username, the first thing will be the username, right? So let's use user. And the same way, if you see this way, okay, I'm just going to get rid of this whole thing and try to use the final data here so that we can actually see what's happening here. So we have got one first column done, right? So at this point, you can see that the participant names, GitHub handle. Right now, I don't think I have the participant name within the JSON. So I'm just going to use the GitHub handle for both the things. So if I use /user, user, and again with the /t and user, I've got both columns with the user. Now I need to use the beginner number of, the list of beginner stuff. So something like that. I need to do something on that part. Okay. So now what we are going to do. So each and every run through this data, what do we get? So we get a lot of things here. In this, the one that I'm very much interested is what is the label that we have got here. Okay, so first thing, we need to find what are all the labels here. So we have got a lot of list of labels here, right? Now let's try to do something on this part. So what are all the labels available? So const labels. So get the labels here. So pr.labels. Cool. Now I need to see a particular label, how the labels are getting generated. All right. So let me clear everything here. I'm going to put labels. So if you see all these labels, it's all objects, but we need it in strings. So this particular object has this name. That is what we are interested in. So I'm just going to do a small map function to make this label to return this L dot, I guess it's name. So if I save this, I'm getting everything correctly here. But look at this. Some have a capitalization and most of them have small letters. I don't want that kind of a thing to mess up with our current work. So I'm going to convert everything to lowercase. So if I do this way, look at this, every single label is now in lowercase for me, which is cool. So now I've got the list of labels. Since this particular repository is a part of different open source programs, this particular sheets are mainly for SWOC, script vendor of code. So we need to make sure that the SWOC label is present or not. So let's try to do labels dot include SWOC. So if I save this one, you can clearly see there are totally so many PRs. We have like 11 PRs, right? So we will also add the PR numbers and we should say if this particular PR is a part of SWOC or not. Okay. So first let's try that. What is the PR number here? It should be PR dot. Let's try to find out here. PR dot number. Okay. So I'm just going to put something like, I'll just put a hash symbol here plus PR dot number and plus. So if I put like this, something like this, and let me put an enter here. Okay. Now we can clearly see what are all the PRs are a part of SWOC and those things that are not part of SWOC. So if you see this, there are so many PRs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. As expected, we have 12 pull requests and there are only a couple of things that are part of this particular program. So 22, yes, 19, yes, 18, no, 17, no. Let's see what exactly is 18 and 17 then. So if I go back to my pull requests and if I go to the closed ones, oh, the 17 is already here. So if I go open this one, right, I can clearly see that this particular pull request has not got any labels. The moment I add the labels, this pull request will also be a part of SWOC. Okay, so that's the thing. So let's go back here. Right, so this particular pull request should not be added to it. And with that being said, we should not consider that pull request, which is by Neha Parmar 99. So Neha Parmar 99 is in the fourth thing. So what we need to do is, if this particular pull request is not a part of SWOC, we need to remove it. So if labels.includes or SWOC, if not labels.includes of SWOC, then return the accumulator immediately. I don't want it to be doing anything. So we should be, even then, if you see here, Neha Parmar has been added because we are adding it here. So before doing any of these things, we should be returning it back. So I'm just going to put this on top and save it. Wow, only 4 people are actually working here. Okay, before that, let's try to allow it for now. And I also see that my name is coming here. So I need to stop my name from coming here because I'm a maintainer. I'm the project maintainer. So the same way we are getting the user.pr.user.login, right? So before anything that happens, I'm going to check if pr.user.login is equal to Praveen Science, then again return accumulator. So my name should be removed from here. Perfect. So these checks need to be done prior doing anything here. Cool. Now we have got only these 4 people who have been validly contributing in our repository. So if we go back to the grade sheet, this grade sheet is the right grade sheet, and we can see this. There are only 4 particular users who are contributing to it. Okay, cool. That works. We have got to the correct way of programming. So far the approach is correct. Now we need to see the beginner. Okay, I do understand that there are a lot of comments coming in. I will respond to each and every comments on the way and at the end as well. Okay, cool. I'll use the text mode to respond everything. Right. Okay, now I need to find all the beginner level. Okay, so I need to find the level of these pull requests. So first thing is, how do I find the level? So if this particular label contains a particular stuff. So first thing, the label should contain the SWOC. If not, we are returning it off. Now I need to look into the label. So if labels dot includes, say, beginner, then I need to set the difficulty level as beginner. Okay, so let me have a difficulty level. Let difficulty. So in normal terms, I want this this to be a invalid beginner level. So if I put an invalid list of pull requests, say the invalid list will come into play when you have the SWOC label. Along with that, there is not a single difficulty level is set. So generally it should be one SWOC and one of either beginner, easy, medium or hard. There will be 2 things that should be set. In case if SWOC is set but not the difficulty levels, then the problem comes. At the same time, I'm going to structure the if condition in such a way that if I am using 2 difficulty levels, let's say I put beginner as well as hard in one of the pull requests, it will take the least possible because it goes like a God list. So what is a God if condition? I put an else if and then check if label.includes of easy. So now what exactly happens is, if I have both beginner and easy, I'm going to set the difficulty to beginner. And here I will be setting the difficulty to easy. So what happens here is the ultimate value of difficulty will be the lowest one. So the first one, when it says this condition is satisfied, that is the list of labels contains beginner as well as easy. So this will be true. The moment this is true, it directly comes out of the if condition, if statements. So that's exactly what I am trying to say. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this and the difficulty level dot push. I need to push the issue number. So PR number, PR dot number. So that's what exactly I'm going to do. The moment I save this way, you can see that there are a couple of things. Did anyone do a medium issue? No, none of them yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this one for now. Okay. So if I kind of like remove this particular difficulty level, so you can see that the other. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I need to use invalid here. Okay, if I save this here, I can see that anything that is not a beginner level. So if you take slot panda, there is one beginner, there is one easy. So let's go to slot panda. Since I haven't got the condition for the easy part, so any easy code will go into invalid. So he has done two things in the easy one. I guess one is not much. We will come to it later. So I remove these two things. Now I get 12 and 11 in the easy part. Okay. Why are we getting all these things in the reverse order? Because the whole thing is actually reversed. So what we will do is Parse by user data dot reverse dot reduce. Let's try to reverse the whole stuff. Okay, I don't think anything happened. I guess I need to refresh. It still says 12,11. All right. So this is Parse by user. And we are reducing this one. So in spite of doing a reverse, I'm still getting the 12 as the first one and 11 as the next one. Okay, that's interesting. We'll just leave it this way. Okay. And later on, we will try to add the things correctly. Okay. So now that's exactly what I want to see here for the easy and difficult, the different levels of difficulty. Okay, let's go ahead. And in this part, I can see that the easy, medium, hard, etc. everything is being given. Okay, I forgot to add the rules for other stuff. So I'm just going to copy everything. So if includes medium, M should be small because I used two lowercase. Then I'll just add the hard. H should be small. Cool. Now all these way, all the other pull requests will be correctly ordered and it will be bucketed in the right place. And when any of these pull requests come to invalid, it's on me as a maintainer to see that there are so many invalid pull requests that I need to correctly label them. Okay. Now what I need to do is I need to find the number of pull requests or those pull requests that are easy here. So /t. Now if I put easy pull requests, it's going to say all the easy parts. So what I need to do is $Parse by user of user dot ec dot join and give a comma here. If I try to do this, I can see that slot panda has got this 12 and 11. So before that, I can do a reverse here. Let's see if that works. Okay, 11, 12, which works. Cool. I'll do the reverse there, which is nice. So this is what I need to do every single time. So I'm just going to copy this whole stuff, copy it, paste it once again. So this is going to be easy. First one is beginner. I guess first one is easy or beginner. I guess first one is beginner. So let's do beginner. Okay, cool. So we have beginner, easy, medium, hard. Okay, so that actually worked. And now finally coming back to the last part, I need to have the total scores, right? All these scores need to be there. Okay, let's have a quick look at what these scores mean. For beginner issue, provide 2 points. For easy issue, provide 4 points. Medium, provide 7. Hard, provide 10. Okay, let's do the scores right now. Okay, so the score needs to be calculated this way for every one. So I'll just put another $, and I need to find the length of each one. Okay, so if I take the PR by user beginner, okay, PRs by user dot beginner, let's put easy ones. Yeah, I get that number right. Okay, then I get 11, 12. Dot length I need to find, right? So the first person has done one easy PR. Second person has done one easy PR. Third person, Slot Panda, has done 2 easy PRs. Fourth person has done 1 easy PRs. Okay, so now what I need to really do is, let me cut this. I'll just put 0 for everyone, which is cool. And all I need to do is I need to sum the contents of here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'll just create a new file here. So easy should be multiplied the length of the number of beginner. Wait, is it beginner? Right, let's do one thing. Let me copy all these things. These are the 4 stuff, and this is going to be the scores: 2, 4, 7, and 10. Okay, so I'm just going to put something like this. This is going to be easier. Const, this is going to be 2, 4, 7, 10, and let me put a score in front of it so that it makes some sense. Score easy equal to this one. Okay, so first thing is beginner, and I need to combine it with score beginner. Okay, then I need to add a summation plus easy, medium, hard. Okay, again, I'm a lazy person, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll go with the score easy. Oh, sorry, I'll just go with the easy. So I'm just gonna select 2 beginners, medium, score medium, hard, score hard. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm first copy this list of constants, go back to here. So here's where I'm doing it. So let me add the scores here and copy this whole stuff. Okay, I just need to close this one. Okay, copy this whole thing. Instead of 0, if I paste all these things here, I can see that 4, 4, 10, and 4. Okay, that's not quite right. Should be 4, 4, 6, and 4. Now what exactly is happening here? Let me try to copy this one. But before that, I need to do something. So if I save this one, I want to be able to copy this whole thing as a text. So I'm just gonna do content editable equal to true. So if I save this one, I will be able to select everything and copy it. Let me go back. Let me paste it over here. Cool. So where exactly is something wrong? So I'm getting 11, 12 here, whereas the correct answer should be just 12. The reason is this particular PR has not been merged. So what am I supposed to do? Whenever I'm trying to find if this label includes SWOC, I need to also do something like this. Or is this pull request actually merged? So how do I check whether this particular pull request is merged or not? So there is a good thing in the pull request itself. So if I have a look at this, it says merged at there is something called as merged at, and I can see that there are a couple of things that is not merged yet, merged at null. Okay, so let's see if we can add this point here. So, and it is, if merged at is null, so pr dot merged at, then don't use this. So now I've got all the answers correct. So if I copy this whole thing, go back to my Google Sheets, paste it over here. I believe these codes are correct. All these pull requests are correct. Okay, boom. That's it. I guess we have almost achieved what we require. So the list of tests that I wanted to do for this is a couple of things. First thing, does it has a SWOC or a master label, like in a case sensitive way? So for example, for this particular script vendor of code, it is SWOC. So it does have, so we actually resolved it. It has a positive score. I haven't done this. So let's try to do one of it. So, but anyway, only when there are any number of, that's actually interesting. Let me look at it. But yes, only when there are any positive number of scores, it's going to go into it. Should not be a maintainer. That's the first God if condition which we did. So the moment we checked whether the maintainer is Praveen Science or not Praveen Science, this has to be done. Then the PR should be merged. We saw that merged at kind of a thing. So we have almost, like achieved everything, whatever we want to achieve with this. And here you go. All I need to do is copy this, paste it, boom, done. Oh, wait, is this the latest code? How can I automate this? So as I said you before, I've got this URL, right? So this particular URL is what I need to use to merge it or do something about it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'll be using a kind of like a fetch syntax. So if I remove this data, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do a const. So I need to import React again. So import React from React. Oh, by the way, the recent versions of React doesn't require you to import React. So even in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just import the use state alone. And use effect. Okay, I hate doing this, but anyway. So here I'm going to do, what is it? It's data, right? Data, comma, set data, use state of, it's going to be a array, right? So we'll use the array here. Right now it is completely empty. So when I try to do an use effect, I need to behave it like a, what do you call this? A component did mount. So I'm using this way. And here I'm trying to do a fetch and dot then. Obviously it is going to be a response stream. I want to do it as res.json. Then I don't want to immediately do this. That's why I have given this way. Then I want the data to be set as set data of data. Cool. So if I just put the URL here just once, boom, these numbers are the real numbers from the GitHub repository. So I can directly use this and then update it and send it over to everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope I'm also clearing all the questions that are asked in the live chat. So let me know if you want to get connected with me. Here's my LinkedIn address, and please do connect with me, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more awesome content. And with that being said, let me try to switch off the screen sharing. I hope you all enjoyed this, at least learned something about this, and cool. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please subscribe and support me, and watch out for a lot of awesome contents from me. So with that being said, See you all. Have a safe time. Bye.